What is happening, Tenken crew? The news cycle is absolutely wild right now, and we've got the hottest, most unmissable updates hitting your screen faster than a speeding comet. Get ready, because you are about to dive into a universe of breaking developments that you absolutely cannot afford to miss. We're talking about the kind of stories that rewrite the playbook, shift the landscape, and have everyone talking. From the deepest reaches of space exploration to the cutting edge of interactive entertainment, the world is moving at warp speed, and we're here to bring you the absolute latest, most crucial intel and the juiciest details. Don't blink, don't look away, because the next big thing is happening right now, and you're going to want to be in the know. So buckle up, get hyped, and prepare for a rapid-fire rundown of everything you need to know to stay ahead of the curve. Let's go. First up, get ready to forge your destiny in a universe where your choices have massive consequences. We're diving deep into how a highly anticipated adventure is meticulously crafting its character creation, allowing for truly unique hero builds that blur the lines between strength and vulnerability. Imagine intentionally embracing flaws to craft a truly memorable protagonist. This isn't your typical min-maxing. It's about embracing the chaos and seeing where the narrative takes you. Plus, prepare for a first look at how early mission design offers an explosion of player freedom, presenting multiple paths to tackle objectives from the very beginning. Will you go in loud, sneak through the shadows, or talk your way out? The possibilities are as vast as the cosmos. Next, we're exploring the hilarious side of space opera. Prepare to meet your new favorite bumbling protagonist in a game that's not afraid to poke fun at itself and the genre. This sequel is dialing up the satire, offering a fresh take on corporate and governmental critique through a hilariously flawed hero who's stumbled into power. We'll unpack how this approach promises a more immediate and engaging story, packed with laugh-out-loud dialogue and situations where your character's sheer incompetence is the key to survival. Get ready for a space adventure where being a lovable idiot might just be the smartest move you can make. Then, we're pulling back the curtain on legacy and ambition. Discover how a legendary RPG creator is finally revisiting a universe he helped pioneer, bringing his unique vision to a sequel decades in the making. Hear directly about the passion and experience fueling this massive expansion, promising a deeper, richer world that builds upon a beloved foundation. And finally, we're tackling the elephant in the room, the bold comparisons to a legendary RPG classic. We'll break down why developers are leaning into this legacy, what it means for player expectations, and how they plan to deliver an experience that honors its roots while forging its own epic path. Make sure you're subscribed, hit that notification bell, and smash that like button so you never miss an update. Forge your flawed hero, the Outer Worlds 2 character creation deep dive. Prepare to shatter the mold of typical RPG character development, because The Outer Worlds 2 is redefining what it means to build a hero from the ground up. Forget the endless pursuit of perfection. This game actively encourages you to embrace imperfection, offering a character creation system that's as deep as it is delightfully unconventional. At the heart of this innovation is the ability to select an additional positive trait, but this comes at a cost. You must also embrace a negative trait. This isn't just a simple trade-off. It's an invitation to intentionally craft a character with inherent vulnerabilities, like abrasive, which impacts your reputation, dumb, which locks certain skills and dialogue options, or sickly, that reduces your base health and toxicity threshold. This system is a brilliant counterpoint to the hyperoptimization often found in RPGs, pushing players to consider how flaws can shape their journey and create more compelling narratives. It's about building a character who is relatable, perhaps even a little broken, from the moment they step into the vast expanse of the galaxy. Beyond the foundational traits, the game boasts an extensive array of skills, including engineering, hacking, lockpick, and many more. The natural inclination might be to create a perfectly synergistic character, perhaps a stealth expert with a knack for hacking. However, Obsidian's design philosophy here seems to encourage a more adventurous, even chaotic, approach. The character creator doesn't explicitly guide you toward a singular best build. Instead, it subtly hints that you can, if you choose, create a delightfully busted character. A mishmash of seemingly disparate abilities that can still lead to an incredibly fun and rewarding experience. My own playthrough, featuring a blend of speech and stealth skills paired with the sickly negative trait, prove just how much freedom exists to experiment and still enjoy the game immensely. This flexibility is key to the Obsidian experience, allowing players to truly role-play their chosen path. The early hours of The Outer Worlds 2 immediately showcase this commitment to player agency. Arriving at Horizon Point Station, the first objective, navigating a security blockade, is presented with a staggering array of approaches. You could loot a fallen guard for an ID card, attempting to bluff your way through via intercom. Alternatively, a ventilation shaft offers a stealthier route, though my own character's lack of thief tools meant exploring other options. Thankfully, an NPC, Niles from the Earth Directorate, was willing to provide assistance. Or, for the truly bold, a direct, guns-blazing assault is always on the table. This is all within the first 5 minutes of gameplay, a mere glimpse into the expansive possibilities that await. The sheer number of open-ended solutions presented so early on is a tantalizing promise of the depth and replayability the full game will offer, ensuring that every player's journey will be uniquely their own. The community is buzzing about the potential for emergent gameplay and the freedom to tackle challenges in completely unexpected ways. Analysts are praising the system's ability to foster player creativity and ensure that even characters with deliberate weaknesses can thrive, making for more memorable and personal stories. But what if your chosen path leads you down a road paved with pure, unadulterated incompetence? We'll explore that next. Get ready to meet the galaxy's most lovable space moron. Bumbling through the cosmos, The Outer Worlds 2 embraces hilarious incompetence. In a bold move that resonates perhaps a little too closely with many of us, The Outer Worlds 2 is set to deliver a satirical spacefaring adventure where playing a spectacularly unqualified protagonist is not just an option, but a feature. Building on the foundation of its predecessor, which masterfully blended retro-future sci-fi with sharp corporate and governmental satire, this sequel doubles down on humor, offering a premise that's ripe for poking fun at the fringes of its systems. Obsidian Entertainment is leaning into the absurdity, creating a universe where your hero might be in charge, but they absolutely have no idea what they're doing. My hands-on experience with The Outer Worlds 2 at Gamescom offered a tantalizing glimpse into this comedic vision, starting right from character creation. Each archetype comes with its own witty description, perfectly illustrating the game's tone. I opted for the Roustabout, a character defined by a distinct lack of skills who, through sheer luck or cosmic accident, has ascended to a position of command within the Earth Directorate. Imagine the gravitas of Commander Shepard from Mass Effect, but with the chaotic, questionable decision-making of Zap Brannigan from Futurama. This blend of power and undeserved authority immediately sets the stage for hilarious interactions and narrative possibilities. The opening mission, which involves investigating space-time anomalies and coordinating with an inside agent within the totalitarian protectorate, quickly establishes the game's satirical targets. We see the Earth Directorate's propaganda, often laced with a subtle undercurrent of fear among its zealous workers, and the protectorate's own brand of authoritarian control. Yet, our own directorate isn't exactly the shining beacon of hope, acting more like a mercenary police force prioritizing megacorp profits. This immediate grounding in relatable, albeit exaggerated, political and corporate commentary makes the stakes clear from the outset, a welcome change from the first game's slower build-up. Choosing the Roustabout felt intrinsically right for this world. A trigger-happy space cop completely out of their depth is a recipe for consistent comedic gold. One memorable moment involved confronting a protectorate zealot who questioned my character's violent approach. My response, a candid admission of pure improvisation and shared cluelessness, didn't de-escalate the situation, but certainly provided a hearty laugh. This role-playing choice, embracing the overwhelmed and overconfident idiot, proved surprisingly fitting as the narrative progressed. While the demo didn't allow for extensive exploration of mission approaches due to time constraints, the options were clear: stealth, dialogue, or brute force. My playthrough saw a delightful combination of all three, often in rapid succession. The gunplay itself felt refined, with a precise sidearm and a more powerful rifle proving effective. Discovering a knife for silent takedowns added another layer to the tactical or untactical options. Although I didn't encounter the flaws system, which dynamically introduces negative traits based on player actions. In the demo, I fondly recall its impact on the first game, adding layers of mechanical trade-off and organic humor. The brief progression bug I encountered, requiring a reload to prompt a door interaction, was a minor hiccup, a familiar quirk in games of this scope that leaves ample room for polish. Overall, The Outer Worlds 2 feels like a familiar, yet improved, experience. The story is more immediate, the combat feels satisfying, and the signature humor is sharper than ever. It's a game that invites players to embrace the chaos, laugh at their own blunders, and stumble their way through another captivatingly zany space adventure. Players are already sharing their excitement about the potential for unique character builds and the promise of a more expansive galaxy to explore. Industry critics are highlighting the game's sharp writing and its ability to deliver both satisfying RPG mechanics and laugh-out-loud moments, setting a high bar for the genre. Speaking of expansive universes and beloved legacies, a creator who helped define a genre is finally revisiting his roots. Get ready to hear about a sequel decades in the making. From Fallout's genesis to Outer Worlds' future, Leonard Boyarsky's sequel journey. In the intricate tapestry of RPG development, few names carry the weight and legacy of Leonard Boyarsky. A veteran whose career spans the foundational years of iconic franchises, Boyarsky finds himself at a unique juncture with The Outer Worlds 2, embarking on a journey that feels both deeply personal and creatively significant. For the first time in his illustrious career, he is directly helming a sequel to a game whose intellectual property he helped create, a prospect that carries profound meaning after decades spent shaping the landscape of role-playing games. Obsidian Entertainment, the studio Boyarsky calls home, boasts a formidable reputation in the RPG sphere, bolstered by its work on critically acclaimed titles like Fallout, New Vegas, and the contributions of developers who were instrumental in the original Fallout's creation back in 1997. This deep well of talent and passion for the genre is palpable in The Outer Worlds 2. Boyarsky, reflecting on his departure from Interplay and the subsequent path of the Fallout series, shared a poignant insight during a recent interview. "When we left Interplay, we left the design for Fallout 2, he recounted. I'd written, a conversation or two for that game, which I think Chris Avallone heavily edited, but we didn't develop that game. So this is literally the first time I'm doing a sequel to a game that I created the IP for, which is really cool." This statement underscores the unique opportunity The Outer Worlds 2 presents, a chance to revisit and expand upon a universe he co-architected, but this time with the full creative reins. It's a remarkable feat to consider that, after more than 30 years in the industry, this project marks Boyarsky's inaugural experience directing a sequel where he holds substantial creative control. He elaborated on the studio's vision for this new installment, drawing a clear distinction from the first game's more constrained scope. "As we said with the first one," Boyarsky explained, "even if we had had more time and money, I still don't think we would have gone as big because we had to be somewhat focused. Here's what the world is, so people can kind of step into the world and really see what it is. And this time, we will just completely blow it out and really expand on my pitch we started in the first one. That is something that I have not had the chance to do before." This ambition to blow it out signifies a commitment to delivering a vastly expanded experience, one that fully realizes the potential of the universe envisioned in the initial concept. The anticipation surrounding The Outer Worlds 2 is immense, fueled by the promise of a more expansive and intricately detailed RPG. The project is not merely a continuation, but a significant evolution, aiming to deliver an experience that surpasses its predecessor in scope and depth. Boyarsky's personal connection to the IP and his directorial vision suggest a game that will resonate deeply with longtime fans of his work and the genre as a whole. The hope is that this venture marks the beginning of a sustained creative output, allowing Boyarsky to continue exploring his passion projects and delivering impactful gaming experiences. Fans and critics alike are expressing excitement about Boyarsky's return to a world he helped birth, noting the potential for a deeply personal and expertly crafted sequel. His insights into the development process are being lauded as a testament to Obsidian's commitment to quality RPG experiences, setting high expectations for the final release. But how does this legacy building connect with the studio's other iconic titles, and what does it mean for the future of RPGs? We're breaking down the bold comparisons to a legendary space western next. New Vegas in space. Obsidian doubles down on Pedigree with The Outer Worlds 2. Obsidian Entertainment is making no apologies for leaning into its storied past. With The Outer Worlds 2, the studio is not just building a sequel. It's actively embracing its legacy, drawing direct parallels to one of its most beloved titles, Fallout: New Vegas. This bold comparison, initially revealed with a confidence that bordered on audacious, is now being further substantiated by the game's directors, Brandon Adler and Leonard Boyarsky, who see it not as setting expectations too high, but as a reflection of their core identity as RPG developers. Adler, the game director, explained that these comparisons are rooted in a deliberate process of looking backwards at Obsidian's history and the foundational RPGs that have shaped the studio's ethos. This includes not only Interplay and the Black Isle Studios era, but also influential titles from Troika Games, developers who were instrumental in crafting many of the formative RPGs the team holds dear. And so New Vegas, to me, was a natural comparison, Adler stated. It had a lot of the elements that we knew we wanted to push forward. The deeper RPG, the more omnipresent factions, and how they fit into the world, the type of open story that we wanted to tell, and even just the exploration of the world itself. The presence of numerous developers within Obsidian who worked on New Vegas further solidifies this connection, ensuring that the spirit and design principles of that classic are deeply embedded in The Outer Worlds 2. The studio isn't shying away from this pedigree. It's proudly showcasing it as the bedrock upon which this new adventure is built. Leonard Boyarsky, creative director and a key figure in the original Fallout's creation, elaborated on why these comparisons were more cautiously managed for the first Outer Worlds. When we were trying to publicize the first game, no one knew what The Outer Worlds was, he recalled. We were like, okay, me and Tim made Fallout and Obsidian made Fallout, New Vegas. So then for almost every interview we did, we were like, okay, this isn't New Vegas in space. This is much smaller. We were trying to set expectations. And a lot of people really loved the first game, but if we had the time and money, we would have done what people sounded like they wanted, which the shorthand is New Vegas in space. This time, with the foundation laid and a clearer vision, Obsidian feels empowered to deliver on that promise. The sequel is designed to be a significantly more expansive RPG, with a pronounced emphasis on exploration and side content, a departure from the first game's more focused narrative. Adler and Boyarsky emphasized that The Outer Worlds 2 isn't merely a spiritual successor to New Vegas, but rather a manifestation of Obsidian reconnecting with its core strengths. It's more like a touchstone, Boyarsky mused. We're taking some of their lessons because they did some stuff really well, but as Brandon said, it's just our pedigree. It's what we've always done. This approach allows for a dual pathway experience, a streamlined core narrative for those who prefer a tighter experience, and a vast amount of additional content for players who crave deep exploration and extensive side quests. We made a game where the core path is maybe 10% or 15% of the total content that's actually there, Adler explained. So if people want, they can have that really quick core experience, and it'll feel really good. But there's a lot of extra game there for people who want more, and they can really explore and get the most out of that. This design philosophy ensures that the game caters to a broad spectrum of player preferences, allowing individuals to engage with the world at their own pace and on their own terms without artificial gating. The community's reaction has been overwhelmingly positive, with fans eager to see Obsidian leverage its RPG expertise to create a truly expansive experience reminiscent of New Vegas. Industry analysts are commending the studio's confidence and its commitment to delivering a deep, player-driven narrative, suggesting that The Outer Worlds 2 could be a landmark title for the genre. This expansion isn't just about size. It's about creating a world that begs to be explored, filled with intricate details and hidden stories. We'll delve into that expansive universe in our final news segment. And that's a wrap on today's whirlwind of updates. We saw how The Outer Worlds 2 is shaking up character creation with intentional flaws, explored the hilarious potential of playing a bumbling space moron, heard from a legend returning to his roots for a massive sequel, and broke down the bold, New Vegas in space comparisons. Don't miss a single update. Hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and smash that like button if you found this valuable. Drop a comment below telling us which story hyped you up the most, and make sure to follow us on all our socials for even more behind-the-scenes content and breaking news. Stay tuned for more, and we'll catch you in the next one.